So you can probably already notice that we'll be driving very fast today. Okay, so this section is my favorite part of the tour because I get to drive on the correct side of the road, the left-hand side. I am from Australia, if you couldn't tell already. I'll start the tour off by talking about how glacial ice is formed. It is formed through a process called fernification. The key ingredient for this process to work is snow. Out here in the Canadian Rockies we get around 7 meters of snow each winter, but to make glacial ice we need 40 to 50 meters. This means the process can take 5 to 6 years. Then once we have enough snow piled on top of each other, it will compress down and make glacial ice. Glacial ice is very dense. For reference, the ice in your freezer is made of 50% air. Snow has 90% air, whilst our glacial ice is made of 10% air. I know we may be called the Columbia Ice Field, but we won't be stepping foot on that today. We will be out on the Athabasca Glacier and we'll be able to see the ice field above. I like to look at an ice field like a lake of ice, whilst the glacier is like a river of ice that extends off this ice field. For an ice field to be called an ice field, it needs to have at least 2 outlet glaciers. Our Columbia Ice Field has 6. These include Athabasca that we'll be standing on today, Saskatchewan the largest, Dome, Columbia, Castle Guard, and my personal favourite, Stutfield. If anyone is heading towards Jasper today, just after our Skywalk at Tangle Falls, there's a Stutfield Glacier lookout. You can turn in, park your car up and have a look at that impressive glacier. I highly recommend it if you have the time. If you look straight ahead now, you'll see our Ice Explorer is already out there on the ice. Where you'll be standing today, the ice will be 150 meters thick. Those big steps we have at the end of the glacier are called ice falls. And then that big snowy patch above those steps, that is our Columbia Ice Field. The ice field covers a massive area of 165 square kilometers. It is around the same size as the city of Vancouver. On our right hand side now, this big rock and dirt pile, we call this our lateral moraine, lateral meaning side. Then if you look across the valley, that other big dirt wall over there, that is our other lateral moraine. What this shows us is how high and wide the Athabasca Glacier used to be. So we'll come all the way up here and then spread across the valley over there. Okay, we are just about to enter the steepest unpaved commercially used road in North America. This big hill has a grade of 32%. As we go down here today, I won't be giving the tour as I do need to focus on my vehicle. For those of you sitting near the back, you might lose sight out of our front windows, so we have windows on the roof for you all. We have to wait for this truck to get down the bottom. I am not sure why they jumped in front of us. So it might not look like it, but we are now driving on the Athabasca Glacier. All this rock and dirt has fallen off the lateral marine to our left. It has rolled down here, and our operators have flattened this out so we can drive on it. The road is around 1 meters thick, and then underneath that is all glacial ice. We call this area the ice-cored moraine. You may notice that we are much higher than the exposed ice out to our right. That is because all this dirt acts as an insulating blanket for the ice underneath. It protects it from all the elements, and therefore it melts at a much slower rate. Because we are driving on glacial ice, it moves around 20 centimeters every night, so we get new potholes every day. That is why our operator behind us needs to operate on the road every morning and every afternoon. Welcome to our tyre wash. Our operators have dug that out for us so we can clean our tyres of all the dirt. That is so we don't limit the albedo effect. You may be familiar with this on a hot sunny day. If you are wearing black, your clothes will attract the sun and heat up, whilst if you're wearing white, they will reflect that sun. That is the same concept out here. We don't want to bring on too much dirt to attract the sun and accelerate the melting of our glacier. In saying that though, if you look to the right hand side, you'll see this big dirty patch there. This is a natural substance called cryoconite. It is a mixture of CO2 particles, ash and dirt that has been swept onto the glacier over the years. Although it is natural, we don't like it as it attracts the sun and accelerates the melting of this glacier. So I'll just go through a few safety things whilst we are out on the glacier today. We have red boundary signs around the perimeter. And everyone please stay within those. Don't go behind the ice explorers, we won't be able to see you when we are backing up. The ground can be a little bit slippery, so please watch where you step. The crushed up ice is easier to walk on than that blue slick ice. We are on bus 529 today, we are 529. We are the rabbit.
It's already cold.
कभी नेचुरलाइज नहीं देखी
The Earth goes through warming and cooling cycles every 10,000 years. But we are currently in a warming cycle that has lasted longer than those 10,000 years, and as a result, global temperatures are on the rise. This has had an effect on glaciers all around the world, with many now receding. In the Canadian Rockies alone, over the past 60 years, around 300 glaciers are fully melted. This is very concerning as glaciers hold around 70% of the world's fresh drinking water. This has also had an effect on our Athabasca Glacier. If everyone looks towards our center, to the left-hand side behind the parking lot, we have some big dirt mounds that we call our terminal moraines. In other words, that's our glacial maximum. So back in 1843, the Athabasca Glacier was 8 kilometers long. It went all the way out to the center and pressed against the mountain. The glacier is now 5 kilometers long, and it is currently receding at a rate of 25 meters a year. If it continues to melt in 40 years' time, we may not have our Athabasca Glacier anymore. As a company, we are trying our best to limit the impact that we have on the Athabasca Glacier. Rather than buying new ice explorers, we are refurbishing old ones. We are adding diesel exhaust fluid. This reduces our carbon footprint by 30%. They are also in the works of electrifying some of these explorers, and these big tires we run at 20 psi, just so they are nice and soft on the glacier. The same as when we went down the moraine today. I won't be talking as we go up. It'll be a very nice view out to our left-hand side. There are 2 big lakes out there. If everyone looks at those as we go up the hill, I'll talk about them when we get to the top.